friends, welcome back to my channel. I have finally decided to read Crescent City. I know I've lied to you a few times. I know I keep saying I'm going to read it and I don't. I have been intimidated by this book. I have also been putting it off because I know it's the only books I have left of Sarah J. Maas to read, but I just feel like lately the books that I've been reading have just been okay, and I think it's just because nothing compares to ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. I mean, if you are in that same boat, I feel your pain. Lately, I feel like books just aren't as exciting, but that doesn't mean they're not good. They are good. I think it's just nothing can compare to, the world building that she does and the adventure and the cliffhangers and the romanticy and all the things that she puts in her books. So I want to do a full spoiler Crescent City vlog. I know that when I read ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, that I was wishing I could find more full spoiler vlogs after I'd read it because I wanted to know people's thoughts, and I didn't at the time have anyone to talk about it with. And it would have been great to be able to just discuss everything, or like be able to watch someone and what their thoughts were at the exact moments that I had thoughts. So the other thing I'm going to do, I got this off of Owlcrate, this random notebook. So I'm going to write my thoughts down and discuss them at different points so that way I don't forget something. And then, obviously I'll just say things as I'm reading as well. So I know that this video is going to take me a little bit of time. And I think that's another reason I was putting it off, is because I know this is a lengthy book and this book is going to take me quite a bit of time, but I'm ready. I think that I've waited a while. I feel like it's the pick-me-up I need. I feel sort of in a book slump, which you would say, so why read a big, huge book when you're in a book slump? Well, for me, I don't know. Sarah J. Maas just always pulls me out of it. And so I just think that it's the perfect time for it. And I'm really excited. I also plan to do a video here soon about reading out of free little libraries, so stay tuned for that. And then I'll have my end of the year book wrap-ups, so you guys can stay tuned for all those reviews. So I am excited to get into this and take you all along the Crescent City journey with me, and I hope you guys enjoy. necromancer. I just have to stop and say, I am not the smartest person when it comes to vocabulary or world building or pronouncing. So I will butcher probably several names and not understand quite a bit. It takes me a while. Like, I'll be reading for a while before I totally understand what's going on. And even then, like, there are some times where I'm like, I'm just gonna choose to not understand this part of the book. So I just need you to bear with me. Already, I know this is gonna be a lot of trying to understand the world, because a lot of people say that for the first several chapters, you're just straight up confused and you don't know what's going on. And this is my first, I don't know if you would call it like futuristic, real world scenario. I'm not sure what you would call that. But it's not like ACOTAR or Throne of Glass where, you know, you're using just knives and there's no like stuff like our world today. And this has, like, she's talking about having generators, and so obviously this is going to be already more futuristic, a real world book, which is different for Sarah J. Maas, but I'm excited to read something like that because I feel like all the fantasies I've read are more other worlds that are like nothing like ours, and just all kinds of creatures that are nothing like ours. And I want to know if I like this type of fantasy, because I know there's a lot of fantasy that is out there like this that I just don't know if I'll like. Or I don't even know if you would classify this as like a dystopian fantasy. I'm going to have to look that up to see, but maybe you would call it that. Anyways, I don't know if I would love like dystopian fantasies because I just haven't read a lot of them. So we're going to see if my taste will be for this, because I know I really love ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, and this is entirely different. Although I've heard people say that ACOTAR ties in eventually, so I'm not sure where that comes in, but we'll see. Hey friends, I am on chapter 3 right now. I didn't get too far today because I was finishing up another book that I haven't finished, and you know, mom life. So I am so far not exactly sure what all's going on, but I know that's pretty normal with the first Crescent City. Actually, I'm on a sprint right now with Heather, by the way. Heather from the Teacher TBR, so look her up. But I'm loving sprints these days. And, oh, I wrote down, I'm having a hard time imagining this gold disc that they're talking about where they have to put a drop of power in and make a wish. So that's kind of throwing me off. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I'm sure I'll learn more. Danica? I have to look up the pronunciation of that name, but she seems like so far that she's a really good friend that looks out for Bryce. So it's interesting because there's like angels in this, and you know, a mixture of all types of creatures. She hasn't done like a wolf creature yet, so I really like that aspect. So far I feel very intrigued, but not exactly sure what's going on. I may be lost for a while here, but anyways, I'm gonna get back to reading while I'm on this sprint. Hi friends, it's been a little bit since I've updated you, so I wanted to come back and update. I haven't gotten too far, I'm about 5 chapters in, but I'm trying to make sure that I update quite a bit along the way. I have not got a lot of reading footage yet because my kids are home, it's the weekend, and if you have any kids, you know it is chaos, so there hasn't been a lot of time to read in general or getting reading vlogs. So I'm hoping to get some more reading tonight when they're in bed, and maybe a little tomorrow when they're in bed, but during the week is usually when I record when the kids are in school, so it'll get a little less chaotic then. But so far I'm not too confused. I've honestly been expecting the worst because everyone says that you basically just don't understand what's going on. And there is quite a bit I still don't quite understand, but I honestly think that I just went into it with expectations to be really confused, and so maybe that's helped me to be, a little pleasantly surprised. So I don't have a ton of notes because right now it's really just building the world and describing the characters, and even then it's kind of throwing you in a little bit. So I'm meeting a lot of characters. So far, there's the wolf pack that I've met, and I understand that part, and that Danica is seems to be one of the leaders of that. And then that Bryce is half fae, half human, and I'm a little confused about the different, I guess, I don't know if you call it species, just the fact that there's mountain lions and then just different creatures, and I'm kind of, and angels, and there's a lot of shifters, and they're kind of just throwing you in with all of those. And so I'm wait, what? It's just so much at once, which if you've read it, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And maybe it's just me that's whoa, let's slow down a minute. But so I don't quite understand all of that, all of the different creatures. I feel like it's really easy for my brain to just be and forget things. So if I forget stuff or mispronounce something or misquote something, please forgive me, because I have a feeling this is a book I would have to read a couple times to fully get it all. Even with Court of Mist and Fury and Throne of Glass, I didn't see hints to things, Easter eggs, if you will call it, where people would guess what was going to happen because she would leave little Easter eggs. I never see those. So if I miss it, I won't be surprised. I miss a lot. And I also think it's just that I don't try to figure things out in a book. I'm just along for the ride. So I got to chapter 5, and I just left off where she went on a date with Reed and she dumped him, and then went to the bar with her friends Fury and Jezebel. And I think Jezebel is the sorcerer, I believe, and Fury is not. I'm not even sure what Fury is. I think she wasn't even describing really knowing what she is. I don't know if she's a shifter or what. And then I was reading about the House of Earth and Blood and the House of Sky. And so I think I kind of understand those a little bit, that she doesn't really like the House of Sky characters. And, the other thing that I find confusing is all the gates, the pearl and the rose and the bone. And there's just so many gates that I'm where I can't picture this in my mind. And I think I already said about the drops of blood, for drops of magic or something, and making, I was really confused at that gate part. So maybe that's something I'll have to reread, or maybe I'll just understand it more as I go along. So I think that's all that I can think of. Oh, that she's also going to go on a date with Connor. So he's, I guess, a part of the wolf pack, which I've heard a lot of people talk about this Hunt guy, and I'm going to just go ahead and throw it in here because maybe I'll think it's funny later. So I kind of feel like these are just my little predictions that probably may or may not be right. You know how people talk about books on the internet and they throw out stuff that kind of spoils things for others and they don't really think about it, on Goodreads? I have so many people, I hate this, who highlight spoilers in books, and then I'm trying to scroll past really fast, hoping not to read anything. So many people were doing that with Crescent City 3, and it's so frustrating. So with me, I like to highlight stuff, but when I post it to Goodreads, I make sure that it's not a highlight that gives anything away. If it's a quote that someone said to someone they love. I make sure the names aren't in there so that it doesn't give anything away. I just hate when people spoil stuff. So anyway, I've heard about this Hunt person. Not a lot, just the name Hunt. And I think that people really like him. I'm going to guess he's the love interest later in the book. So I'm confused about this whole date with Connor because I'm thinking, like, I don't really want to get attached. Like, I'm already going into it not being attached because I am expecting a different guy to show up because I've heard about this Hunt person. And so I'm going to be really thrown for a loop if I'm wrong and she does end up with this Connor guy. I don't know. But I don't think she's going to. I'm going to say she ends up with another guy named Hunt. Maybe this Connor guy is going to be like another Tamlin and turn out to be like awful. I don't know. And then also my other prediction is like, so she doesn't like anybody in the House of Sky, but I think that's what the third book is called, is the House of Sky, I believe. So does she join someone there later? Like, is that the love interest that she mates with? I don't even know if there's mating in this. I think there is. So it's interesting because she doesn't like the House of Sky. So is it going to be like an enemies to lovers? And I'm not really sure that I even understand who's really the ruler. Like, there's the Autumn King. Like, I don't even remember who that was because there's just so many names. And all I'm thinking about is like the Autumn Court and ACOTAR. And I'm like, is this going to bring in some ACOTAR characters? I've heard rumors about that in the third book. I don't know. So I'm just thinking like all these things and also trying to get straight all these people's names. And also there's all these species, I guess we'll call them. I don't know what you would call them. And the veneer, like, I don't understand what that is. The veneer took over because she was talking about like the veneer era and the human era. And I'm like, so are they all veneer now? And what is a veneer? I may even have to Google some of this, but then I'm worried I'm going to spoil it. So anyways, those are all my thoughts. I had some requests for people to record my thoughts on the beginning and the world building, so that's why I'm kind of trying to write things down and go more in depth with that. And so I'm sorry if that bores you, but I will try to get some recording this evening, and hopefully I'll get, some recordings of some crazy chapters. I didn't get a lot of like people telling me what chapters I should record, so I may miss like an important one on camera, but hopefully not. Anyways, that's my update. I will see you guys in a bit. Okay. Well, clearly she's not going on that date with Connor. I mean, I finally just got to read after my last video. Oh my gosh. Like, all of our friends are dead. That's awful. Poor guys. What? Okay. So did her friend, what's her name? Jezebel? I can't remember. Did she drug her on purpose? Just met Hunt. So, I'm guessing that he's a love interest. I know it just started, but that's my theories, since I've heard so much about him. Predator, killer, monster. Angular dark eyes. Not given you an update on Crescent City in a minute. Got my Starbucks again today. I am an addict. Actually, I normally try not to buy coffee, but I need to get groceries and I'm out of coffee creamer, so the last 2 days I've splurged. But I wanted to give a little update since I haven't in a second. I'm on chapter 11. I'm mostly reading with my Kindle because, as you all know, the book is huge and it's just easier. I prefer my Kindle mostly. So the most recent thing is I'm on part 2, and Bryce was confronted with Hunt and what's the other guy's name? Oh, Isaiah. I thought it was Isaiah, but I wasn't sure. Okay, Isaiah and Hunt confronted her saying that Danica was possibly not killed by the guy, Briggs guy that they arrested, that they originally thought he was the one because I guess he had a motive. And so then they said Micah is coming, which I guess he's like the governor, and she's working for Jezebel. and I'm not exactly sure what she does for work, and I can't really figure out their whole government system. And I guess, I also found out since then that the prince is her stepbrother and not her cousin, and that the vampire guy that she was doing a deal with was killed the same way that Danica was killed. So that's interesting. Maybe it was her brother that did it, but I don't know. For sure, that could possibly be it. So that's basically all I found out so far. I'm only on chapter 11, so I'm still not that far in it. I have had so many interruptions the last couple of days, so it's been really hard to get in to my book, but also I'm a mom of 3, and I'm also recording some other videos at the same time, and so it's just hard to get through like an 800 to 1,000 page book and also record. So I'm trying, but I'm getting slowly through it and trying to remember to update you all. So anyways, I will be back with another update. Okay, I'm going to make a little prediction right here, which I probably am wrong, but you may hear my child in the background. I'm going to guess right now that the Autumn King is the one who's been sending this demon to do all the killings. That is my prediction as of chapter 14. Sabina. I really didn't guess Sabina. Like, not at all. I guessed, like, the Autumn King. I really thought it was him. Sabina killed her own daughter. I mean, I guess I don't know for sure. She swapped the cameras, but this is crazy. Okay, guys. I want to go ahead and talk about this. I'm driving home from the library and update you guys on Crescent City. I'm about 43 chapters in. I gotta be honest. I am not loving Crescent City. I'm not. I've never felt like this about any Sarah J. Maas book. Actually, all the books that people didn't like the first ACOTAR book, the first few TOG books, I loved them all. There was never a book of hers that I didn't like. Ever. Except for Winter, A Court of Winter, what is it called? A Court of Frost and Starlight. And I don't know what to say because I'm really disappointed. Everybody loves Crescent City, and at this point in time, I'm halfway, and I feel like it's a 3-star. And I've never felt that way about Sarah J. Maas. She's my favorite author. So mainly it's because she is throwing in way too many characters at once. So many characters. Like, I don't understand why she felt like she had to put in every single character she could think of. It's a lot. It's a lot of dumping. And I'm bored. Like, nothing is happening. So I just had to record this in case I change my mind, in case it starts to pick up, in case I start liking it. Because my friend told me everyone feels this way, and then they start liking it about halfway, so we'll see. But so far, this is my least favorite Sarah J. Maas book I've ever read. Yeah. And I'm sure that this is really bumpy because I'm driving, so I'm sorry. Okay, excuse my hair. I just took a shower. But I had to get on here because, oh my gosh. Hunt is making a deal with the Viper Queen right now? Like, right before 66? What? Okay, I did not see this coming. Oh. I don't understand. Because he was at the house. So unless he's got like a twin, or they cloned him, or like, I don't even know. How is that possible? Because he said a deal was going down, and she left and he was still there. Sorry, my kids are above my room, so it's loud. I have no thoughts right now. Ugh. So just to update you, I haven't been loving this book, which, you know, I did tell you that. It did get better, around 70%, but I'm still trying to decide if that's good enough to raise the rating, because that's like 500 pages of the book that I wasn't really enjoying. That's a lot of pages to read and not enjoy. I will keep you all updated. I finally finished. 800 pages done. It took me a bit. So, my thoughts. So many thoughts. I thought I was gonna hate this book. I've never felt that way about a Sarah J. Maas book. And for more than half, I really wanted to just quit reading, honestly. And I got to like about 70% and it just started to get crazy. As all of you know, she does incredible endings, which I always expected that, but I just didn't know if it would be worth everything that I had to get through. But it makes sense now, and I ended up loving it. It is still not my favorite. That will always belong to A Court of Mist and Fury and Kingdom of Ash, but it was really good, and I love how it wrapped up. The ending was just so epic, with Bryce just saving everyone and just risking herself for everyone, and everyone just watching. Like, everybody watching on camera made it just absolutely crazy. And you know what it reminded me of was the Hunger Games, where they were all watching Katniss on the camera fighting, and her and Peeta surviving together is what it reminded me of, her and Hunt, like at the end. And it was just beautiful. It was just an epic ending. And I love her and Hunt. And I mean, just like, oh, her and the light, like that she had the power with the light, reminded me of Aelin in Throne of Glass, and just brought back so many good memories of reading that series. And I was just so excited about that. So it took me a while, but I did end up enjoying it. I will be giving it 5 stars. I teetered between 3 and 4, and then the ending just really, really got me, and it was epic enough for me to put it at 5, because I feel it answered all the questions of why it took so long for her to get there. There was so much world building. There were so many characters. Now, I will still say and stand upon that she has way too many creatures in this book. Like, I don't know why she felt that necessary, but I get why everything had to be brought to where it is. So much was tied up in the end in such a good way. And I mean, Sarah J. Maas just knows how to bring everything together and to do an ending. She's very good at that. You probably hear my daughter screaming. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all loved Crescent City as well. And just let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of Crescent City 1 if you've made it to the end of this video. I would love for you to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you would like me to do a video like this again for Crescent City 2. It probably won't be for a while, but just let me know if that was something you would like me to do. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.